Hello, welcome back to another replay. So, this time we're going to see a battle between me as Pasha versus the Eastern Roman Empire, or yeah, the Byzantine Empire and hello, actually, sassanids? I think, yeah, sassanids. So, for my army, we have 5 Sogdian warriors. I don't think I gave any of them upgrades. Doesn't look like it, at least. Then I have 5 Persian mounted warriors, 2 Gaian Avspar, 1 Savarian Sadar, 1 Indian armored elephant, and 1 Neft thrower, which is probably my favorite unit from this faction. Very cheap. So, for my opponent, he has brought a lot of units. He actually outnumbers me by figure around 700 men. So, he has 1, 2, 3 kamikaze spears. Of his missile force, he only has 2 sakatari, which is basic archers. Not very good in missile fights, but they do decent enough as archers. For cavalry, he has 4 tagmata cavalry, which at the moment they're viewed as a little bit overpowered. I don't know personally what I feel about them. I feel like I can counter them myself, but I do see the problem with them. Then his general is just a comms, so not a very good general, but I suppose he isn't planning that his general is going to win this. So, for melee force, he has 1 Protector's domestic here, and I think his entire center is made up of just Eastern Armored Legio. Yeah, pretty much. And then he has 1 extra domestic here. So, I'm going to take the high ground, because I want with my inferior force to be able to really just hammer him very, very fast. Also because I knew if I didn't spawn up here, he would probably just go over here and camp. It's a very easy spot to camp. So, he starts by firing at my general. He doesn't really do any damage. But, you know, if you can snipe the enemy general, then why not try? So, my Sogdian warriors are inferior to pretty much any unit he has except his spears. But they're fairly cheap and they have fairly high melee attack. So I will use these guys mostly to try and damage the enemy rather than actually winning the fight. Anyways, I charge in my cataphracts. One of them took this Kamikaze spear, and another one took this Eastern Armored Legio down. He does counter-charge with his tagmata cavalry, but in the end I did over 100 kills there. Here I killed out almost 200 in just that charge. So I did very, very well. I also took a lot of his missiles away. Here I routed this unit. I am probably going to lose this Gavian Asva. Another of his Eastern Armored Legio roused because my elephants came in right in the center and crushed that. I then kill out of Sakatari, but he still has 1 left, and then he comes in with tagmata cavalry. The thing about tagmata cavalry is they can actually do pretty well versus elephants. They are a bit overpowered in that sense. Over here I'm trying to attack the units which are trying to block my general down. Oh, elephant I mean. Over here I charge my Persian mounted warriors into this Eastern Armored Legio. I also charge this unit, but I'm going to pull out and keep cyclo-charging it. Over here I killed off this spear unit. It didn't do very much. It's a very cheap unit. And then I'm going to charge this Domestico Protectors. I still have 1 cavalry unit in reserve, and my infantry, well, they're obviously going to lose quite heavy towards Eastern Armored Legio, but they're just there to buy time and damage them. Over here my Savan Sadar is getting charged by tagmata cavalry. I then pull in my Persian mounted warriors to try and resolve the situation. I have a couple of infantry units nearby, but they're right now taking care of these commentary spears and these Eastern Armored Legio. I'm going to backcharge Then my nav throwers are going to just throw bombs into the mix. So as we can see on the unit morale, like, it is quite decent amount of morale. Like the 11 others, it's mostly from the bombs, I think. So, over here I managed to pretty much rout these domestico for very little cost. Over here my Persian mounted warriors got into the back, so I'm going to rout his entire flank right here. His general still hasn't committed. He isn't even near the fight, so he can't help his army right now, which is probably a big mistake from my opponent. In the center though, he is slowly winning. Well, this flank is obviously losing, but right here in the center, Sogdian warriors, they're not very capable units. They're kinda like, they can be used fast and swift, but they're not very reliable units. That said, I have so many units nearby that I just feel like they're probably going to rout because of it. I then pull in my Persian mounted warriors into these archers. Still has one Sagatari left. And I get my Gvayan Aspa to go after these Tagmata cavalry. Over here he has a pretty decent amount of troops left though. He has 3 Eastern Armored Legio and 2 Tagmata cavalry. Most of them are very well, I wouldn't say good stands, but most of them have a lot of men left. Over here his comms actually managed to take out my Gaian Afspa, which is pretty sad for me. But my nav throwers are getting pretty good shots into this mix. And I'm just trying to like shock his army into rout by now. So I'm going to pull my cavalry around and try to come up here. Over here my Gaian Afspa did actually manage to kill his Tagmata cavalry. And my Savian Sadar is going to come around up here and flank again. My nav throwers are right now pulling back to try and reload, while my infantry is trying to grind it out. He still has a small chance of winning by now, but really it would be very unreasonable if I lost this engagement by now, because I now have more men than him, and he started outnumbering by 700, so it should be a pretty obvious advantage for me. Now charge his Sakitari, and yeah, without that unit he can't really do anything about my nav throwers. Sturmill is now bogged down and he's going to die. This Tagmata cavalry 2 is going to die, and the Legio, I mean they're good units and all that, but they're probably not enough to kill off these infantry units, especially when I have the cavalry and the nav throwers nearby. Now I'm just trying to kill these comms. And yeah, by now his army completely... Yeah, my general actually ended up dying like in the last second. Anyways, I won the game. I wouldn't say it's Pyrrhic like the game says, but it definitely was a harder game. Mostly because the army I brought isn't a very competitive build. It's a very fun build I use. But yeah, let's look at the statistics. So I got 800 losses, just about. And he got around 1600 losses. So around twice the losses for him as I lost. For my units, my Sogdian warriors, I mean they didn't do terrible, but as you can see, the ones that got bogged down in melee, they did really terrible. Like, these guys are basically just a mob of units. That's why they are doing so well. The Savarian Sadar, 84 kills isn't terribly good, but it's not terribly bad either. Some of my Persian cavalry did fairly bad, some of it did very well. And my Gaian Auxpar, which is my elite cavalry basically, did really well. My armored Indian elephants did... they didn't kill too much, and to be quite honest, for a 2600 unit I think they cost. This is unacceptably little kills, like they should easily get more kills for that price. My nav throwers 40 kills for 200, it's fine, but they were probably mostly dead just to, you know, morale damage. As for his army, it's really only the Tagmata cavalry that did anything. and they didn't do that much for their cost. His armored legio, a couple of them did fairly reasonable, but most of them didn't become cost effective. And even the ones that did well probably just killed these Sogdian warriors, so none of his units really performed anything. Sagittari didn't do very well either. His comms did decent for its cost, but you know, and the rest of the units, well, they're bad units compared to anything else he has, so they obviously didn't do as well. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy, and see you next time.